to talk about today is we're going to talk about a document that's becoming more and more utilized in the retail EDI order processing cycle or space. And that document is going to be considered an 820. In an 820, it's a document that's loved and liked by many different suppliers, sellers, distributors, manufacturers, those type of things, because that means or indicates that you're getting a payment. So the technical term for an 820 is a payment order or a remittance advice. Most people will associate that as a cash receipt document. So an 820 comes to basically tell you when a payment is being made or sent to an organization. So if you think of your retailers, like the Amazons, the Walmarts, any of those entities, and you've sent them part of your cycle is, hey, I've sent you product, I've sent you an 810, an invoice, and now I want to get paid. So I'd like you to essentially let me know as soon as I should be expecting a payment, and for what invoices am I going to be paid. So the main things that are being seen on an 820 document, and an 820 document can be small, where it contains one invoice, or it could be huge, containing hundreds, if not thousands, or tens of thousands of invoices that are being paid by that retailer to you. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the payer, the payee, the identification, usually has your company names, your addresses, your identification number or your vendor number. It's going to reference the invoice number and or purchase order number. It's also going to be the amount that was billed minus any type of deductions. So most people want to match those up. So if your system has invoice for $100, you see the 820 come across, and that invoice is now or the payment is for $90. Well, there's a $10 difference. Okay, so now your accounting staff needs to look in and see, why is there a $10 difference? What's the charge or deduction that the retailer has taken, and they're only sending us payment for 90 when we were expecting 100. So it's a traceability thing. Along with that, you're going to be looking, and you might have banking information, you might have payment tracking information that's inside of the 820. But typically what it is for is just to tell you a heads up. Hey, this is what we're going to be paying you for. And then on the back end, your accounting or accounts receivable can then say, hey, let me process this in and mark them against the invoices so that I can reconcile and see what invoices have been paid, what invoices haven't been paid, what amounts matches, all of those different things. Because you may get hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments, and it takes a long time for you to manually go through those and reconcile everything. Well, if you have an 820, that reconcile process can be trimmed down pretty dramatically. So most of the people with an 820 document, they love that document because they can integrate it, get it into their system, helps to already mark off invoices that are being paid, gives you an indication or a flagging of, hey, here's a deduction or here's a difference between the payment we're getting and what we were expecting. That alone saves a lot of people time. It also helps people from an ownership management. You're knowing when those payments are flowing in. So usually when you get an 820, it's usually within the same week that you should see some type of payment coming through ACH or whatever it may be. So I highly suggest, if you can enable it and you can do it, an 820 is going to save you time and money. And hey, who doesn't like money? So you're getting your payments, you know when they're coming, and you can just look at that particular document, and it helps your accounts receivable.